Hi, I'm Sherry and this is Gardening in the North, and today I want to share my beautiful chamomile with you. So this bed here in my garden has been designated to chamomile. So one of the things that I did not know about this herb is that it is very hardy and it's a bit aggressive. So last year I planted two small sad looking little plants in the corners of this bed just so I could get a little bit more color in the bed, and I think maybe I got 20 little flowers, and they were not the size of these flowers. They were tiny little baby flowers. I was not impressed. So when I was doing my garden plan this year, I decided that I wanted to have an area on this property that was designated to chamomile. And I set out and I started planting seeds in my plant room to grow 20 to 30 plants. Now, when I came out to the garden to start planting out the rest of the beds, I noticed that this bed here, had more chamomile in it than it did last year when I planted chamomile in it. And it was at that exact moment that I said to myself, this is going to be my chamomile bed. And I planted all of the plants I had in this bed. One of the great things about this plant is that it is a cut and come again. And so what that means is that you are going to harvest all the flowers. The plant has one job, and that is to produce the flowers. And so it will produce more flowers. You'll then come out, harvest those flowers, and the plant knows that it has a job to do and produces more flowers. It is a never-ending cycle throughout the gardening season. So a couple things that I want to mention about harvesting your flowers is that you want to do it in late morning. You want to make sure that all the dew from the night before has dried up and is gone before you harvest your flowers. You also want to make sure that the petals are flat, so they are just laying out nicely like a little fan. If you're harvesting your flowers to make tea with, or something that you are going to be eating or drinking, I would suggest that you use some kind of scissors or trimmer or something that will allow you to get as close to that flower head as possible. When you leave too much of the stem on the flower, it adds bitterness to whatever you're making. And I don't think you want any bitterness in your tea, so I would suggest cutting the flowers off as opposed to pinching them off. You also do not want to pull the flowers off, because essentially you are disrupting that plant, and you could pull a whole stem off, which then would have produced flowers for you, and now it won't. So I'm just going to go around and I just grab the flowers, I hold it up, and I just snip them off. So I'm just going to pull these over here, start cutting them. All right, I'm going to fill this up, and then I'm going to meet you inside. We're going to make some tea, and we're going to talk about the benefits of drinking chamomile tea.
Lost again, going back around, dreaming of a time when I get things right. Lost in the shadows of a million stars. Shouldn't they enlighten my near and far? Shouldn't they at all just tell me where you are? Send a prayer if I'm out of luck. Hi friends, so here is all of the
chamomile flowers that I've picked. I left a few on the plants because they were a little bit smaller than these ones, and I thought I would give them a chance to grow a little bit bigger. So I'm going to be doing two things with these flowers. One, I'm going to be making a nice, relaxing, calming tea that I can sit on the couch, put on one of my shows, and just relax. It'll help me to calm my brain down a little bit. It's been a very busy day, a relaxing but busy day. I've been on my feet all day, and it'll be nice to sit down and just relax. I know that it looks like it's probably still fairly early out, but it's 8 o'clock at night here. And so that's the first thing I'm going to do. With the flowers that are left over after making this tea, I'm going to layer this dehydrating tray, and I'm gonna place it into my dehydrator. I'm not gonna turn it on. I know when I was out in the garden today that I have a bunch of basil and lemon balm that I want to harvest as well. So I will do that tomorrow, and then I will turn the dehydrator on once it's full. So I will do that. One thing that I wanted to mention is I've made some dehydrated orange slices. I love having one of these in my tea, and so we were running low on them, and I thought that I would do a couple trays of those. So let's get started. I'm going to be making the tea that's going to steep in this jar, and the reason that I'm doing that is because everything is fresh, and the little diffuser that I have, I don't think will fit all of this. And one of the things to remember when you are making tea from herbs and you're diffusing all the goodness out of them is you don't want to pack them into a container, because that's going to stop them from absorbing and releasing the nutrients that they need to do. So I'm going to do it in this jar. I'm going to let it steep for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then I'm going to pour it into my glass. So here I have some lemon balm. I really like mixing lemon balm with my chamomile. Both of these have a very calming and relaxing property. So I think one of, or the most popular use for chamomile tea is to help calm you. People use it before they go to bed. And I'm just gonna do 2 tablespoons of the chamomile flowers. I've done, I'm gonna say maybe 10 to 15 lemon balm leaves. I'm also going to throw in one of the orange slices. I'm actually gonna throw in 2 today because that's what I feel like doing. Keeping in mind that when you are creating your tea blend, you might see me creating it this way and I'm gonna love it. It doesn't mean that you're going to love it. You might need to tweak it a tiny bit. So getting back to what I was saying, I think that the most used, or the biggest reason that people use chamomile is as a sleeping aid. It calms them down, it relaxes them, it allows them to just shut their brain down a little bit, because sometimes we have too much on the go, and sometimes we just need to have a little bit of a break. So the other thing that chamomile is really good for is anxiety. So if you have anxiety, this is not by all means the magic pill, but chamomile will help to take that edge off for you. Now, keeping in mind, I'm not a medical professional, and really if you have a lot of anxiety and you are on medication, if you're on any medication, you should really be reaching out to a medical professional or your doctor to inquire on these specific herbs and whether or not you can take them with your medication. So another thing that chamomile is really good for is stomach pain. So if you have digestion issues, chamomile will actually ease the muscles in the digestive tract, allowing or easing some of that pain that you might be having. And for this simple reason, for these muscle easing properties that chamomile has, it also helps you with menstrual cramping. So if you have a lot of cramping at your time of the month, then drinking some chamomile tea is definitely going to help you. Again, it's not a magic pill, but it takes the edge off and it tastes amazing. So why not? So for the rest of the flowers, I'm just going to dump them onto here. Okay, and I will definitely put that in the dehydrator. The next thing I'm going to do while I'm waiting for this to steep is add some honey. Now, you can add whichever type of sweetener that you want to add to your tea. I'm adding this gift that was given to us. It's Nathan Creek honey. So my friend Laura's sister, her son has some beehives and he made this honey. So I just thought I'd give a little shout out to him, let him know that we are using it and say thank you. I'm so glad that I added the second orange in there, orange slice. Oh, I can taste so many amazing flavors. Thank you for making tea with me, and I really hope that you try this. Remember that the first time you try it, if you don't like it, just tweak it a little bit, because I know that this combination is going to amaze you. Have a great day.